Hi folks, I'm Wayne Douglas, and for the last 12 years or so I've been a news presenter and an interviewer on television. But at the moment I'm out on the road to Matakana in North Rodney, hoping to link up with some wonderful people from Kotuku Rising, from Kotuku Choir in Wellington. And apart from singing, they're very good at walking. They're walking from Cape Reinga to the Bluff, an amazing feat, and they're 2 weeks into it as we film today. Very exciting, and I thought the best way to do it is to have a chat to the lady who's organised the whole thing herself, Sharon Thorburn, who's walking with the team to raise hope and give hope to a lot of people through the choir but also through the walk. And we caught up a little while ago. Check this out. I think one of the things I think about the Hope Walk is that you're covering the length of the country, you know, but not necessarily on the main highways. You're covering it on all sorts of different areas. What's the plan in that sense? Because you've got to be careful with the highways, don't you?
Well, the highways, you tend to feel like a bit of a squashed hedgehog, so you've got to follow the cam, and as you notice, the roads go down, so it's quite uncomfortable walking that far from the road, so you tend to try to follow the white line, which means you feel a bit like a possum on a possum hunt. Yeah. So you have to keep crossing over on blind corners. So after a couple of days of walking the highways, you get too exhausted with the fumes and the sheer wind from the trucks, so we pick coastal routes. It's kind of like a survival thing.
You see things off the beaten track too, don't you? You see things that you wouldn't normally see driving on the main highway.
I guess it's a God walk, so the whole thing's dependent on which people we're supposed to meet that we don't know about. And so it depends on if there's a coastal route, if there's a rural route, then we take that route. If there's not, we take the main highway.
Right. Well, at the time of filming, like now, 11th of October, and middle of the afternoon sort of thing, what are your thoughts when you think, well, gosh, it's a long way between here and Bluff, you know? Are you thinking that way in your head?
No, not at all. No. Every step's a bit closer.
Yes.
Actually, no, we don't think that far ahead. We just know that today we've got to walk this amount of miles, right. And in the middle of that there'll be a few adventures.
Sure.
Like pouring rain or
well,
or gelato or oysters or
that's right.
Or you know, people that we haven't met yet or paths to go up.
And again, as I say, you know, the time of filming now, you're 2 weeks into it, which is not long, I guess, but you've already met some amazing people and people that you would never have anticipated that you'd run across.
Huge divers. Oh, it's really exciting, yeah. And every day we wake up, we wonder who we're going to meet and what adventures we'll have, and we don't know. It's completely out of our hands, so it's a helpless feeling in a way because we don't know where we're sleeping, what we're eating, who we're meeting. And it always turns out an amazing adventure that we couldn't have ever planned if we had all the sponsorship in the world.
I guess it's an obvious question, but why are you doing it? I think people would ask that, wouldn't they?
Everybody asks it.
So
and you know, it's interesting how much people are getting it. It's interesting how much they get it. So why we're doing it is because it's a hope walk, because we're lifting our feet. And as we lift our feet, we know that there's a huge power in walking the land, getting to know the people, connecting with the people that we're supposed to, that we haven't met yet, and just proving that New Zealand is full of these amazing people with hope stories that we can't give out. So every new person is a different race, different story, different courage, and we can't meet the kids that they can meet.
Sure.
If that makes sense?
Yeah, it does. I think, and that's the whole concept, I guess, of the Kotuku thing.
Yeah.
How do you relate this to the Kotuku concept with the choir that you've got in Wellington and things
because
like that?
It was born to sing hope. And so the hope song that we're carrying in our heart, that everybody's singing, the idea is it's being remixed by every community. That was our vision. And so it relates entirely back to Kotuku. Not only are we singing hope, but now all the communities are asking if the choir can come up.
Sure.
So that's an outcome I didn't see.
And you're only 2 weeks into it, so you're going to have a busy few years.
Oh, they all want us to come up.
But does that
this
excite
year?
you?
Oh yeah, we've got venues, like pubs have offered venues, churches have offered venues. We're finding kids to join Kotuku. It's all these outcomes we could never have figured out when we started. We thought we were just quietly walking hope. But no, we've got, you know, diving for kin, horses, flying foxes, all organised for the kids. It's great. Yeah.
How do you, I often think about it myself, how do you define hope? How would you, now that you're into the Kotuku thing for a couple of years or so now and you're doing the walk for that hope reason, but how do you define hope?
I think it's the most dangerous virtue that you can have. I think once people have hope, they have a voice, and hope can't be extinguished. And it's and for me, hope is of course Jesus and God, and faith, hope and love are the three most important things. But once someone has hope, nothing can stop them. So if you get someone, for instance, who's lost their job or their home or their future or their wife or they're fighting disease or
financial circumstances, lots of stuff. Yeah.
If they don't have hope, then we perish. But as soon as hope is given, it can't be extinguished.
Right.
It's too strong. So it's a very dangerous emotion or virtue because it runs very deep. So we're trying to implant that foundation into the land. It's already there.
How much of a need is there, do you think, in New Zealand?
From the people that we're meeting, I think there's a huge need because as we lose things, as people lose jobs or, there's all this fear of global warming, this, that and the other, then they lose the capacity to have a voice and they lose the joy of living. So
is that particularly relevant to young people too?
I think so. And so the people that we're meeting, everyone's got a story of courage. It's a really remarkable country. That's what's happening with us. We're just saying, wow, look at the beauty and look at the pioneering spirit and look at these people who are losing things. Everyone we've stayed with is having a struggle or had courage stories and they're getting through it. They're bringing us hope.
Well, there it is. She's got a lot of fascinating things to say and a great thing that they're doing for Kotuku Choir and to give hope to young people up and down the country. So support them if you see them on the road. They're wearing these lovely Hope Walker jackets, vests, etc. So you can't miss them. And if you want to follow them even more closely on a day-to-day basis, the website is kotukurising.org. All the blogs there and you can follow their progress and see exactly how it goes. See you later.